Have you ever felt a quiet distance growing between you and others, a subtle wall that prevents true connection, leaving you wondering why you're not fully trusted? It's a frustrating, often painful experience. You try to be honest, to be a good friend, a reliable colleague, yet that sense of deep reliance, that genuine trust, remains elusive. You might ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Or is there something inherently untrustworthy about me? These questions can echo in the quiet moments, fueling self-doubt. But trust isn't a magical quality. It's a foundation built brick by brick. And sometimes, unknowingly, we might be using the wrong materials or even chipping away at the very structure we wish to build. One of the most common reasons for eroded trust is inconsistency. When our words and actions don't align, even in small ways, people begin to notice the disconnect. Broken promises, whether grand commitments or minor assurances, slowly chip away at our perceived reliability. Each time we fail to follow through, a tiny crack appears. It's not always about malice. Sometimes it's simply a lack of attention to detail or overcommitting, but the impact on trust is the same, regardless of intent. Another significant factor is how we speak about others. Gossip or talking behind people's backs signals that we might do the same to anyone, including those we're speaking to. Self-centeredness can also be a silent killer of trust. If interactions always feel transactional, with one person always taking and rarely giving, the relationship becomes unbalanced. Even white lies, told to avoid awkwardness or protect feelings, can accumulate. When someone discovers a pattern of dishonesty, even small ones, their belief in your word falters. A lack of transparency, especially when there's an expectation of openness, creates suspicion. Hidden motives or undisclosed information can make others wary of your intentions. Beyond these observable behaviors, deeper psychological barriers often play a role. A fear of vulnerability, for instance, can lead us to erect emotional walls. We might overpromise to gain approval or avoid conflict, inadvertently setting ourselves up for failure and reinforcing the perception of unreliability. Insecurity can manifest as defensiveness. When challenged, an insecure person might lash out or refuse to admit fault, making genuine resolution and rebuilding trust difficult. Not truly listening, dismissing others' feelings, or always interjecting with our own experiences can make people feel unheard and unvalued, eroding their trust in our empathy. Sometimes we project our own distrust onto others. If we constantly assume negative intentions, we create a self-fulfilling prophecy where trust becomes impossible. Unconscious patterns from past experiences, perhaps from childhood or previous relationships, can also influence how we engage with trust today, often without us even realizing it. The impact of this eroded trust is a cycle of isolation. We feel alone, misunderstood, and others, sensing our unreliability or guardedness, keep their distance. Misunderstandings accumulate, small slights are remembered, and the weight of unspoken concerns grows, making authentic connections seem increasingly out of reach. It's a feeling of constantly being judged, of having to prove oneself over and over, yet never quite reaching the standard that brings peace of mind and genuine acceptance. The desire for true connection, for someone to truly see and accept us, is profound. But to achieve it, we must first look inward with courage and honesty. Building trust is an active, ongoing process. It requires self-awareness, recognizing our own patterns, and understanding how our actions are perceived by others. The first step to fixing these issues isn't to demand trust from others, but to embody trustworthiness ourselves. It starts with self-reflection. Are we consistent? Do we follow through on our promises? Are we transparent about our intentions? Do we listen with genuine empathy? It takes courage to acknowledge where we might have fallen short, to admit our flaws, and to commit to change. But this vulnerability is the cornerstone of authentic connection. Remember, people don't distrust you for who you are fundamentally, but for patterns of behavior that can be changed. This isn't a judgment, it's an opportunity for growth. True trust is built on small, consistent acts of integrity, honesty, and genuine care. It's about showing up as your authentic self, flaws and all, and allowing others to do the same. Embrace vulnerability, communicate openly, and strive for consistency between your words and your actions. Let your character speak louder than any explanation. As you commit to these practices, you'll find that the walls begin to crumble, replaced by bridges. The distance shortens, and genuine connections blossom, rooted in mutual respect. It's a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small victories, and remember that building trust, both with others and within yourself, is one of life's most rewarding endeavors.